Hello, awesome people. Today I want to share 4 essential ingredients to a regular writing routine. So if you're struggling with a consistent writing practice, chances are you're going to be missing one of these ingredients or maybe more than one of these ingredients. So let's dig in, find out what they are, and make sure that you've got all of them in your routine so that you stay consistent and finish that book. Right, so let's do this. We've got 4 ingredients that I'm going to take you through. And I also want to say that if you are really at that place where you're like, oh, I'm really struggling to finish my book, then you're also going to want to check out the link below, because I'm running a course this year on exactly that, how to finish your book. I'm running it in the Write No Matter What community. So you might want to check out more about the community and come and check out the course as well. So first of all, let's dive into what those 4 things are. So we've got where, we've got who, we've got what, and we've got why. So those are the 4 essential ingredients, and we're going to do a writing exercise for each of them so that you can really understand what those ingredients are, because you might be thinking, okay, you've literally just said 4 words to me, I kind of know what those words mean, but I'm no clearer. How is that going to give me a consistent writing practice? So here's the thing. We often get asked a supposedly simple question like, who are you? Or what do you do? And I think the danger is that because the question seems simple, we don't really dig in and give it a deep answer. Or it may be that we kind of don't even really know how to answer. Like, someone says to me, who are you? It's like, oh, well, I'm Gabriella. Like, oh, sorry, did you not catch my name? But if we want a consistent writing practice, we have to see ourselves as more than just our name. When someone says to us, what do you do? Again, if you're kind of like, oh God, don't ask, or like, I don't know, is that going to enable us to feel really confident about our writing? And if we don't really know what we do, like we're not even really sure if we are a writer, how can we expect ourselves to be really consistent in our writing if we're not consistently telling ourselves, well, what I do is I write? We might be like, oh God, don't ask because I'm meant to be a writer, but I never write. So hopefully you're beginning to get a sense of actually how powerful each of these words are. Each of these words is a question. Excuse me. So if we're not clear about who we are or what we're really doing with our lives or what we stand for or where we are when we write, it becomes really, really difficult to develop that consistent practice because we've got no information, we've got no guidelines, we've got nothing that's really empowering us, we've got no sense of identity of ourselves as a creative, as someone who's really committed to this venture of writing a book. So what I want to do is spend a little bit of time exploring each of these. So the first one is the who. So I want for you to think, when it comes to a consistent writing routine, who are you? Now, I want to make sure that you're going to answer this question in a way that's really going to lead you to where you want to go. Because sometimes I might be chatting with a new client and I might say, when it comes to a consistent routine, who are you? And they're like, oh God, well, I'm just lazy. Like I'm someone who just can't get my shit together. Whereas I want for you to answer the question as if it were happening. So if you are in a consistent writing routine, so you're really imagining that consistent writing routine taking place. So not necessarily like, who are you at the moment? Because if you're not having a consistent writing routine, then the way that you're defining that who you are is not serving your writing. So we want to draw a line there and we want to imagine, okay, if I had a consistent writing routine, who would I be? So when it comes to a consistent writing routine, who are you? Really imagining yourself in that moment, writing when you want to write, writing when you say you're going to write. Who are you? So I'm going to give you a minute to explore that. Off you go. Okay, so let's just reflect on what we wrote in that one. What I noticed about the language I used is I put, I'm the kind of person who, and this is a really nice way to start to think about it. I put here, I'm the kind of person who shows up for my dreams and does what she says. I'm free. So I'm starting to really define the who of who I am in a way that's showing me, this is what I do. I'm free. I'm the kind of person who does what she says. And when I see myself in that way, for me, and this is why I have a consistent writing practice, writing becomes a given. It doesn't even occur to me that I might not write, because I'm like, well, of course I'd write because I'm the kind of person who does write, or of course I write because I'm free to write, I'm free to do what I want. So hopefully you're beginning to see that when you get really clear about the who of who you are, and that matches the who of someone who has a consistent writing routine, then you have a consistent writing routine. So the next one I want us to explore is the where. The prompt for this one is, when it comes to a consistent writing routine, where are you? Now again, you're thinking less of how things currently are, because of course the reason you're watching this video is because your writing routine isn't consistent. So we don't want to describe how things currently are, because then they stay the same, and if they stay the same, the consistency of your writing will stay the same. So again, I really want for you to imagine it like, if you're writing on the days that you say you're going to write, if you're writing when you've committed to, where are you? And I really want for you to describe the setting of that. So again, let's take a minute and really describe the where you are when you are in that consistent place with your writing. Off you go. All right, finishing that one. So again, you're starting to notice what needs to be happening here. So for me, I'm really journaling on the where that I've created for my own consistent writing practice. So I have a real ritual around it. So I'm taking a minimum of 15 minutes to sit at my table with a fresh drink, my oil burner on, to complete a page. So for me, that's the way my consistent practice has always, not always been, but in the time that it's been consistent, for me it works. I set a minimum. I know that it takes me 15 minutes to write a page in my notebook. And for me, writing that page can happen every day because there's always 15 minutes. So I set it up as a ritual. I sit at my desk, I'm with my notebook, And once I've done that, it gets me into the frame of mind. So I generally tend to do more, but I know that in that 15 minutes, roughly a page is about 400 words. So I know that I've advanced, whether it's my work in progress, whether it's a new idea. I know that whatever it is I'm currently working on, I will have advanced it at least around 400 words every day. So the where is really important, and you'll probably notice that you started to describe things that would really encourage you to show up either every day or the days that you want to be committing to. So we've done who, we've done where. Let's have a look at the what. So here we're exploring, this is the what do you do part of it. So we're going to explore what career and life are you building with a regular writing practice. So we're starting to really get clear about the what around the writing. So sometimes people can be like, you know, when do I call myself a writer? I feel like I have to be published before I call myself a writer. But for me, the what do you do? If you're writing every day, then you are a writer, because that's what you're doing. Writing is an act of doing. I think when it starts to become something that people have to enjoy, or that it has to have won awards to be writing, we really start to get into difficulty there, because we're in a place where we're never good enough, and we're putting in the hours of writing, but it feels like a thankless task. So for me, I find it really, really useful to just simply see the act of writing as defining you as you're a writer. Now, you may be challenged by that, but I find the more you practice that perspective, the more it really becomes something that feels comfortable. So let's take a minute to journal. What career and life are you building with a regular writing practice? What career and life are you building with a regular writing practice? So let's explore that for a minute. Okay, finishing that one. So what did you notice there? For me, as I was journaling, I was thinking in my mind, like, how can someone not write every day when this is what they're creating? So I put, I'm building a fun life that's creative and full of self-expression. And that was the moment that I was like, dang, like, no wonder I write every day. Like, this is what I'm building. And I put, I'm building a career that is inspiring others, that's financially rewarding. Now, these things, like, even if they weren't happening for me at the moment, just to really get into a place where you understand that's what you build by showing up every day for your writing. Because I think often people can get into this place where, because they're not imagining what they're building, they're really focusing on, like, I don't feel like writing, I just feel like it's never going to happen, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to finish my book. You don't want to show up, right? If you don't think you're ever going to finish your book, it feels like a thankless task. Like, what's the point? Everyone else is going out tonight. What's the point of me staying in when I'm never even going to finish the book anyway? But if you're saying to yourself, I'm building a fun life by showing up and doing this writing, it's like, get out of my way. I need to get to my writing. I really want that fun life. Or I'm building a career that's fulfilling and financially rewarding. It's like, I'm going to put that time aside every day, because every time I show up to my writing, it's another It's another step towards a career that's going to impact people, a career that's going to be fulfilling and financially rewarding. So when you really start to see that what, the what you're creating, for me, I find things really do shift. Okay, final ingredient is why. So we've looked at who, we've looked at where, we've looked at what. Now we're looking at why. Now, this is why you do it. This is the reason it's important to you. So again, if you don't know why you show up every day to do it, you're not going to show up, right? So this is an opportunity to really get clear about the reasons that you would have to have a regular writing practice. So let's take a minute to journal. Why is a regular writing practice important? So really brainstorm. For many people, they actually discover that even though their dream is to get published, the most important thing about writing to them is that it's really good for their mental health. For me, that writing that page a day, for me, I just feel better having written it. So I'm just like, I would never get to a place where I don't write that page now, because I always feel better having written it. So take a minute to explore, why is a regular writing practice important for you? Off you go. Beautiful. And finishing that one. Again, what do you notice? And of course, folks, do feel free to share anything that you've seen from these exercises in the comments below if you really want to share your answers with me. I love being let into people's experience. So for me, I actually put something that I suppose I never really articulated it in quite this way. The first thing I wrote, I knew about. I feel a sense of satisfaction having written. So for me, what makes that regular practice important is to continue to feel that sense of satisfaction, because it's really delicious. It's really delicious every day to be like, like I got my writing done. That feels good. Like I did what I said I was going to do. The other thing I wrote here, I feel that I'm chipping away day by day at my huge dreams by these little words on the page. And as I was writing that, I thought, I really love the image that gives me, because my dreams, my creative dreams are really big. And like, I get it. We can often feel really overwhelmed by the things that we want to achieve in our life. I'm certainly one of those people. And for me, one of the reasons I love working with my coach is that she helps me break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks. But for me, I was like, wow, just by seeing these little words appearing on the page, mentally I know that I'm chipping away at that really big dream that I've got. So it's almost like an antidote. That regular writing practice means that you're consistently building up words on the page, which consistently means that you're chipping away at your dreams, which consistently means that you're taking one step every day, you're getting one step closer. And, for me, that just feels so motivating. It's like, just show up for your 15 minutes of writing a day, in my case. And you know that at the end of every day, you've gotten one step closer to the dream that you have for your life, for your business, for your writing, for your career. So there we go, my friends. As I said, if you're in that place where you're like, I really need to finish a book, then you're going to want to check out the link, which is the link to my Write No Matter What community and the program that I'm running this year, which is all about how to make sure that you finish that book. So whether it's a book that you are editing, you're like, okay, I've got that really crummy first draft, but like, how do I see that through? How do I now take that to a final product? You're going to be able to use the program to edit the book. Or if you've got an idea, it might be that you've already started the idea, or you've got an idea but you haven't started plugging away on that idea. The course is going to be great for all of those different situations. So you'll find details below in the link. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what insights you got. Looking forward to chatting with you. And as always, wishing you a really beautiful week. Take care.